Jackie in Malawi. Hello, Paoli. It's me. I am videoing here from Iraq in Malawi, right off of the beach, so you can see what I get to see every day. I have been loving my month here. It's up there with Thailand. I can't decide which one's my favorite, but that gives you an indication. Best 2 out of the 7 so far. So I am loving it. It is a beautiful country, as you can tell. Let me give you just a little 360 from where I'm sitting. So right there we just have some trees in the forest. Up on that hill is where our tents are. Right there is our dock. I can zoom in a little. That is where I normally do worship and morning devotional. And then you can see behind the dock there are little kids fishing. That's pretty typical. This is a really big fishing town. So I'm gonna view back out. And then this is just our lake. You wouldn't really know that it's a lake by looking at it. To me it looks like the ocean, and we have mistakenly called it that many times. But here, let me show you. You can see some more people fishing. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. Those are kids. One of the sad things about this country is it is very poor. And so you will have kids that young, 12, drop out of school so that they can start fishing and making money for their family. So that is part of the unfortunate side of this country, but other than that, the people are absolutely amazing. Some of the friendliest. We were promised that Malawi is one of the friendliest African countries, and they have made good on their promise for sure. I actually just got, let me show you, a t-shirt that says Hakuna Matata from 2 of my best carver friends. A lot of the men here are incredibly talented at carving wood, like insane, and so they sell a lot of things carved, and so they live right down, or their shops are right down the road going into town. And so part of our ministry this month ended up us just praying, and the Lord told us to go and meet these carvers, and they became some of our best friends. They actually, a lot of them have now accepted Christ, which is amazing. The culture is kind of, they remind me very much of the homeless population, so you can imagine how much my heart goes out to them, because that is what I'm passionate about at home, and they remind me very much of that group. And so in a similar way, a lot of them were really into alcohol, and pot smoking is huge here. Excuse me. But the Lord has just been at work in their lives, and so many have turned to Christ, and they are actually going to be starting, since we've gotten here, they've started a carver's church, and so we've had church there twice, and it's so beautiful. They took offering, and they do that, they collect for the needy, so anyone who's like coming on the streets who can't afford food, that's who they're collecting for, and they came up with that was their idea, so you can just see how beautiful their hearts are. But so I had them, my closest friend Alex, my 2 friends are Alex and James, and Alex always says Hakuna Matata, which is Swahili for no worries. You might recognize it from The Lion King. And the funny thing is they don't speak Swahili here. They speak Chichewa or Tonga, and so I got it in remembrance of him, because it's funny that it's not even from here, but it was from Tanzania, where we were last month. So anywho, I am filming from our lodge area. So half of our ministry has been here at the lodge. This is a very unique lodge. It's a community service lodge. So they have tons of different community projects going on all the time. So we helped with their youth group. We helped with, today was Disability Club. And that was incredible. I've never done much with disabled people other than Special Olympics, and they totally just stole my heart. So that's been really amazing to get to know them. And then outside of the lodge, I also have helped out with an HIV group because, as you know, Africa is highly prevalent with HIV/AIDS, and particularly Malawi is one of the higher rate countries, and so we worked with people going through that, and their testimonies are unbelievable. But we got to read them Bible stories about God and healing, and just continually having hope in what the Lord is doing in your life. And these people are just amazing. Some of them shared their testimonies and told us how once they got diagnosed with HIV/AIDS, that's when they found Jesus. And so because of that, they said people think that you're dying when you get this disease, but that's when they started to live. And so just crazy stories. And then, as I said, we hung out with the Carvers a lot. That was my number one ministry and passion this month. But then we also got to go to a prison that is seated right in the middle of town, which is also crazy. And go inside the prison, which people are not allowed to do. We actually came back to the Carvers and we said, we got to go inside, and they were like, "How did you get to do that? We always ask and we're never allowed to." And it was a total God thing because we were only allowed to do it once, and it was just he had everything planned, timing wise, for it to work. And when we went in there, 14 people accepted Christ. So just so many beautiful things. But I am just loving it here. Tomorrow is our last day, and if I seem a little weird, that's probably because I'm really heartbroken about leaving. God has just shown up in such big ways, and He's changed me, and just giving me, I wrote about this in my blog, but because of the people that were around are so hungry for the Word, it's given me a new hunger to study the Bible and just live by Him. When I said that we do, I don't know if I mentioned this, but ATL ministry, which is Ask the Lord, we literally just wake up in the morning and pray and see where the Lord would have us go, or certain things. This is the coolest story ever. So you know how I said that my two friends were Alex and James? Well, the first day we did our ATL, we were sitting out on that dock that I showed you, and I was praying. We were all praying to see what God wanted us to do for the day, and I heard 3 names: Jacob, James, and Moneybags. I know Moneybags is a little funny, but as you'll see, there are lots of funny nicknames here. We know a Happy Coconut, Fresh Potato, Young Tiger, Sunshine, Sweet Banana, anything you can name it. So Moneybags didn't seem too off once we heard it. But anyway, so that first day I heard the name James, and I was really unsure about it, actually, because I just thought maybe random names were popping into my head. I wasn't confident that it was from the Lord, but I told my team, and they said, we'll look for it, and they told me to be confident in what I had heard. And so we started going on our journey, and I kid you not, we're going around, and this is the day we first met the Carvers, and I think the third person we met's name was James. And turned out his story is that he grew up in a Muslim family, lost his dad a couple years ago, lost 2 other siblings to malaria. So if you, I don't know if you heard, but I went through kind of hula hoop after hula hoop to try to get malaria for 12 months. It was very hard when I was at home. But it is literally no joke. 2 of his family members died from malaria because the people here can't take malaria pills, their entire life. I take it every day, and it's just not healthy to do that or affordable. And so people die from that sickness, and so it's just really tragic. And so anyway, back to James. So he grew up in a Muslim family, and then all that craziness happened, and so he knew about the Muslim faith, but he wasn't really following it, but if anything, that's what he was following. And so we just started a relationship with him from day one, and then he just turned out to be one of our best friends. And as the Carver church that I was talking about got built up more and more, he was there every single time. He had the most insightful questions. He was so curious about our God, about Jesus, and our religion. And so I am so happy to say that a couple days ago he accepted Christ into his heart, and he is just unbelievable, like unbelievable. And it's just so amazing to see how God works, and that he just totally set up the appointment for us to meet him, and he has been a true blessing to me and someone that I will have in my heart forever. And we're going to exchange emails and hopefully be able to stay in contact. But just again to tell you another unbelievable story of how God is at work here. And I want you guys to remember this place in your prayers. It's called Nakata Bay. God is literally transforming it from the top into the bottom. There's no other way to describe it other than that. This place looks different than when we came, and I know that it's just the beginning. The Carver Church is going to just be a light for this entire island. Butterfly space. The employees, like I've mentioned, that the watch guards have come to our Bible studies, the bartender, just random police guards who come to protect the town, just literally everybody you could think of, and random people somehow have accumulated at this butterfly space of the lodge that we're staying at, and are coming to Christ, or already are believers. But the sad thing is that churches here are terrible. Pastors are stealing money, are basically becoming pastors in order to take money from people. They make everything about paying, and instead of teaching the word. And from the sounds of it, it's just very hypocritical, where the preachers aren't even speaking from the Bible. They're just kind of making their own messages and just want to sound like a church, for the reason I said, to collect money. And so that's been really discouraging. And so I know that God is just setting up all these Bible studies and all these clusters of people to kind of reinvent the church. For one of the Bible studies I'm participating in, we're going through John, and so we read about how Jesus saw the temple being violated. I forget what chapter it's in, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. When he comes in, and it's near the Passover celebration, and so vendors and salesmen have come into the temple and literally have brought their animals, because they know that the Jews, the religious people, need animals for the Passover because they need to sacrifice them. And so they literally bring these animals in there to make money, and they're selling, and it becomes a market. And so Jesus comes and overturns the tables and tells the people to get out, and that they are just completely violating the true meaning of a church. And so that's been a lot of our ministry, is reinforcing the idea that people are the church, that a building is not the church. And so if they are going to a church where the truth and Jesus, who is our foundation, is not being preached, then they need to leave, and they can make their own church and just start this whole revolution and rise of what church is actually supposed to look like. So as you can imagine, things are just going crazy around here, and it's so beautiful to see how God is just bringing people together. Like, this is not about our group. It's so beautiful that we got to be a part of it, and I am so thankful for that. But I know that the butterfly space, people know that we were here and know that we are here and that missionaries are here, so it's made a name for itself. This is going to be a safe place for Christians to come and meet. And so I hope that a Bible study group will come out of this lodge, and that will be one of their community projects. And then just so much more. I can't even fathom the things that God is going to do here, but I did want to update you on the Bible situation. Speaking of, Paoli, you just blow my mind. Really, you do. I hope you know how much you are doing for the Lord and how proud He is of you. And like, especially this month, being around a country whose churches have just fallen and are not honoring to God, I cannot tell you how proud I am to go to Paoli United Methodist Church, because you're out in the community. You are doing everything that the Lord has asked of a church. You are supporting your brothers and sisters. You are telling people about God through your mission trips and through supporting missionaries like myself. You are just so passionate and making God your everything, just like He's asked. And so words can't express how thankful I am to already be on this mission trip, but then to write that blog and tell you my heart for this place and how God is just making a way into the darkness that was Nakata Bay, this is like a honeymooner spot. So it's a place of drinking and drugs and debauchery and everything that's, not centered on God, but God is changing that, and you are a part of that, because I am so proud to say that we are going to get Bibles for all the vendors, and the Gideon Society is going to be providing Bibles for all of the prisoners. So literally every person that we've talked to, the watch guards, all the staff, our Carver friends, and the prisoners are all going to be getting Bibles, and you have been such a huge part of that. So I just wanted to give you the update, but also thank you for your hearts. Thank you for just the love that illuminates from you. I miss you so much. Again, I am so blessed to be here, but I am so excited for the time when I get to be with you again. And just love on you the way that you've loved on me for these past 7 months. So just know how much you are making a difference back home in America. I love you so much, and I'm praying for you guys all the time, but I can just see God's hand over your lives, and thank you for being such a big part of mine, even when I'm away from home. I can't tell you how much it means to me, but it's about to start raining, so I've got to cut it short, but I love you guys and miss you and can't wait to hug you. Okay, bye.